Like I keep saying, it's his goal just to piss off the American people with his stupidity. So Sleepy Joe gave his Memorial Day speech. And of course, he spoke of the love of his life, Jill, and how wonderful she is. The great doctor, the great English doctor, how wonderful she is. And he made a point, like he always does, mentioning one of his children. This time, it was his late son, Beau Biden, who passed from cancer, I think in 2015 or 2016. And he mentioned that on Memorial Day because his son passed on Memorial Day. And no, he wasn't killed in the line of duty. He came back from a tour and he died from cancer. So watch this quick clip. And
7 years ago today, our son, Major Beau Biden, took his last breath with Walter Reed. He didn't die in the line of duty. He came home from Iraq with cancer.
And yes, it's sad. He lost his child. Even though he passed on Memorial Day, wouldn't it have been a nice gesture, if you will, if he mentioned the 13 American military personnel that he had killed with his botched withdrawal of Afghanistan? Wouldn't that have been something if he spoke of his failure in taking people out of Afghanistan, his failure to put a plan together that would have rescued a lot of people in the safest way possible? But no, he didn't mention that. He takes no responsibility for that. His major concern was getting Americans out of Afghanistan, plus all the Afghan refugees that he wanted to bring over to the United States and spread them all over the country, as he does on the Texas border, as he's doing from Ukraine. Refugee, 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 bring them in, fuck it. Fuck the American people, they'll have to deal with it. Not one word about the military personnel that he had killed, and yet he had killed from his botched plan to withdraw Americans from Afghanistan. He takes zero responsibility for anything. Everything he does is a failure. Getting people killed is on his shoulders, and he doesn't have the decency to mention it. But he did do a wonderful thing. Him and Dr. Jill went to Uvalde to comfort the families of that horrendous, horrendous massacre. Quite frankly, I know he doesn't care. You know he doesn't care. As the president, he has to do that. It's something he has to do to make it look like we support you. He already forgot that he went there. But he made a point of coming back and speaking to a reporter when he came off the helicopter. And he spoke of guns, of course, because the guns obviously are going out by themselves and killing everybody. The assault rifles made their way to that school by themselves and killed all those kids. It wasn't the person, it's not the people, it's the guns. But he made a point of some bullshit story, but he was in New York, I don't know how long ago it was, at some trauma hospital, and he was with some trauma surgeons, and they told him that if you're shot with a .22 caliber bullet, it's just going to lodge in your body, and the surgeons can most likely go in and get it and save their life. But if you're shot with a 9mm round, it's going to blow your lung right out of your body. That's right. It's going to blow your lung right out of your body. Watch this.
When I was a senator and the death rate was going up. Not that many more people were being shot, but the death rate was up. I went, I think it was, I'm not sure, I think it was Kahneman Hospital in New York, whatever the largest trauma hospital is. And I sat with a trauma doc. And I asked him, I said, what's the difference why are so many people, not that many more people are being shot? This is now 20 years ago, or 25 years. I said, why are they dying? And they showed me a x-ray. He said a 22 caliber bullet will lodge in a lung, and we can probably get it out, may be able to get it and save the life. A 9mm bullet blows the lung out of the body. So the idea of these high caliber weapons is there is simply no rational basis for it.
I think he actually believes that, and I'm not a firearms expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I work with people who are. I've been firing handguns for about 20 years, and in my experience, I have never, in the 20 years I've been doing this job and using firearms, I've never heard of or seen any footage or photographs of someone being hit with a 9mm round and it blows their lung right out of their body. Never. I've never seen it. I've never heard of it. But according to Droolin' Joe, the trauma surgeon told him a 9mm round will blow the lung right out of your body. That, my friends, is just another one of his ploys, if you will, because he wants to ban handguns too. He wants to ban semi-automatic handguns like he wants to ban semi-automatic rifles, because the American people under the Second Amendment don't have the right to own them. You can't own a cannon, he said. You can't own a cannon. But no, we can own firearms. We can own semi-automatic handguns and rifles. But this administration doesn't want that. They're trying to cover up their failures in everything, including funding states for crisis, mental health, homelessness, public safety, you name it. He doesn't do it. But when a tragedy happens, like this latest school shooting, they all come out with the guns. It's the guns. It's the guns. So now he's going to use this story of the 9mm round blowing the lung out of the body to push his agenda to stop law-abiding citizens from owning a handgun. I personally don't think that will ever happen, but if he had his way, he would make it happen, and the rest of the dinosaurs in Congress would make it happen. But I have a question about that. A lot of law enforcement agencies around the country carry handguns with 9mm rounds. Some have 40s, some have 45 semi-autos, or whatever. So is he saying that even police officers can't carry a 9mm handgun because if they shoot somebody, it might blow their lung out? God forbid you shoot a criminal who's shooting at you and you hit them with a 9mm round and their lung blows their lung out. Oh my God, what a tragedy that would be. Of course, it's not going to happen. It will stop the threat and, yeah, kill the person, but it's not blowing nobody's lung out. But all the naysayers and all the gun haters and all the beta males who were afraid of their own shadow and who never even had a cap gun when they were a kid. I'm old enough to know what a cap gun is. They're all going to back him and say, that's right, Joe, these guns are dangerous. Take the guns away from the people. But these sorry-ass people, men mostly, will cry and bitch and moan when they need help from the police with a gun. And the police say, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't want us to have guns. Why would we want to come and help you? You know, all the defund the police losers, all them people. That's what this is all about. It's more propaganda for this administration to take away our rights as Americans. Oh, you can't own a cannon, he said. Who in God's name ever owned a cannon, or maybe 100 years ago? So he thinks that people are going to be ordering cannons online. That's how fucking burnt out this guy is. The shit that comes out of his mouth, and people believe it. Oh, did you hear what the president said? How dangerous those firearms are. Have you, for one, ever seen a firearm trotting down the street and then all by itself start shooting somebody? No, but that's what they want you to believe. I'm not going to blame the people, the mentally ill people who take these guns and do horrific things with them. That's a problem that this country needs to fix, because it's all over the country. There's mental health issues all over the country. They are not spending any money and will not spend any money to try to help people either get counseling, get medication, do whatever it takes to stop doing what they're doing. And I know you can't help everybody. I know that. I'm not stupid. But they don't even try. A tragedy happens and they immediately blame the gun manufacturers, the gun lobby. They're all bad guys. Anybody who owns a firearm or wants to purchase a firearm, or any company that manufactures firearms, they are the bad guy. I, for one, think this guy's a laughingstock. So hopefully this is not going to go anywhere. We won't lose our firearms, our handguns, our semi-automatic rifles. But that remains to be seen, because they're going to push it. They're going to keep on pushing it, and they're going to push it right through November when they get buried in the midterms, because all these bleeding hot Democrats hopefully will either be unseated or lose an office that they're running for the first time, or lose an election, rather, that they're running for the first time. That's what we need. These people have to go. They have to go. And no, not all Republicans are saints, but anything's better than the dinosaurs in Congress and this dementia-laden fool in the White House. And that's it. That's my rant. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when there's another video up and coming. I hope everybody's healthy and safe. And keep your head on a swivel, because the guns might be walking down the street behind you and all of a sudden start firing at you, and you turn around and there's nobody there but the gun. Be careful. Be safe. I'll see you.